Hello everyone, welcome to Club Reaction to Dundee United 2, Rangers 2 here on Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. The torture chamber that is watching Rangers in 25-26 has hit another gear. It's went up a notch, that's for absolute sure, because that was torture. There's literally no other word for it. That's exactly what that was. I'm Scott Carney. Joining me tonight is Ali Pearson. Ali, what a goodbye present Rangers have gave you there for going on your holiday, mate.
Yeah, I'm not shocked, to be honest, Carney. I said to you in the post-match after the Falkirk game, I think it's going to get worse with the fixtures we've got coming up. I listened to you in Scotia last night, and you talked briefly about this game at the end, and I think you kind of thought, well, you really don't know what's going to happen tonight in terms of Rangers, but I didn't expect much for Rangers tonight, I'll be honest about it. I thought we would drop. I knew we would drop in either tonight or Kilmarnock.
Probably both.
Probably both, yeah.
Both. Yeah.
You'll probably get into it. Probably the most amount of chances I've seen Rangers create in a game.
Yep.
But it's the same old stories. The defence is absolutely shocking. And up front, there is nothing. So if your defence is shocking, you can't score goals, you're not going to win games of football. And we don't deserve to win a game of football tonight. So, as I say, not shocked. And we'll drop again. We will drop again between now and January, guaranteed.
Obviously, I'm happy the fact that Rangers managed to secure a point at the end of that game. I'm obviously happy at that, but it's everything that went before it. It's so unbelievably bad at times. It really is, and you're spot on, mate. With a front line of your main goal scoring threats being Shamiti, Danilo, and Majovski, who could not score a goal if there was nobody else on the park and it was just them with a ball. They wouldn't be able to do it. But you can't do anything if you can't score goals, and you can't do anything if you can't defend. And we've seen the bad of this full team. Some of the defending tonight wasn't just like bomb scared defending. It was nuclear defending is how bad it was. It was horrifically bad. And yeah, ultimately you can't win games of football like that. You really can't. And found myself getting frustrated and annoyed again tonight at what I was watching. And yeah, this never-ending roller coaster that we're on, that's only been going for 4 months or 5 months, is it's rolling on and on and on. And yeah, I just a night that I think we'll be lucky to think that we got away with a draw tonight. I think we ultimately probably are lucky the fact that we did. We didn't take the chances when they came. We couldn't defend. We couldn't defend water. Couldn't defend anything. I literally couldn't get through a wall with a blowtorch at times, a chocolate wall with a blowtorch at times, and yeah, just a really poor night for me. Nothing that I enjoyed about it, apart from, as you say, mate, we were a lot more attacking intent than what we've seen previously. It wouldn't have been hard coming off the Falkirk game. There was a lot more attacking intent, but it's all powder puff and it all leads to nothing, and it's consistently making the wrong decisions at the right times. At the most crucial times, that just cost us. It absolutely does. Starting 11 tonight: Jack Butland, James Tavernier, Giga Fernandez, Magoma, Raskin, Barron, and Danilo, Barami, Majovski, and Gassama. Ali, I'll say it right now, and it's not in hindsight. I would have said it before the game. I'm sick of Danilo pretending he's anything other than a striker. He isn't. There's no point in doing this. I can't understand why we're persisting with it. I was happy to see Asgard not starting, don't get me wrong. Barami probably deserved his start again, based on he was the most promising player for us on Sunday against Falkirk. But yeah, the Danilo playing not as a striker, Danilo playing at all for Rangers, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm just not going to get on board with.
I don't know how long I've been banging the drum about Danilo for. Best part of 2 years now, Carney. I've been saying Danilo is pish. He's no good enough. And I remember folk had a go at me in the comments probably about a year ago saying, well, he was injured, he's been unlucky. The guy's no good enough. He's not good enough. And you've seen it tonight again. Not just Danilo. There's a lot of other players in that team that aren't good enough. But nah, he doesn't want to start for me, Danilo. He can't hold a ball in front of goal. I think he's powder puff, lacks confidence, he's weak. He's not for me. If it was me personally, I would have put Barami in the 10. I would have played Gassama on the left where he should play,
Yes.
And like the boy Curtis on the right or something.
Mate,
I mean, and we're no bloody football managers, but you look at it and go, how can you not see that? This wee experiment with Danilo needs to get in the bin now. But then you look at the strikers, Carney, and you go, as you say, every week you pick your team. Just put 3 tickets in a bowl and try and pick one, see who comes out. Because it doesn't matter who plays out the 3 of them. I actually thought Miovski was slightly better today in terms of his link-up, but that was it. And once again, in the top line, Barami, a guy coming out the cold, Carney, has been our best player. 2 games in a trot. Again, the right commitment, the right attitude. This is a guy that's probably not going to be at Rangers next season, but he's shown the right attitude, and the rest of them are an utter embarrassment for me. But Danilo, you know my thoughts on Danilo. I don't need to keep
going. I'm right there with you, mate. I really am. I'm all aboard get him as far away from the club as possible, Train. I really am. Rangers started all right. We had a decent counter. That we've not seen, and it was maybe a sign of things to come of how the game was going to go with Rangers pressing quite high. But again, the effort comes from Danilo, and it's weak. It hits the defender, goes out for a corner, and the keeper with the police saved it anyway. But even at that, Ali, we decide, well, we've started okay, so let's just do some terrible defending, shall we? A ball down our left, Dundee United's right. Fernandez is just far too close to his man. It really is terrible defending. He's allowed to run from the halfway line into the box, and it's a tidy finish. It is a very clever finish, just chipping it over Jack Butland. But at that point, Fernandez has to do the brave man thing and just take the guy out and take the booking and accept it, but he doesn't. It's horrific defending, Ali, and it's one of those ones when they score it, you're like, here we go again.
Yeah. And they targeted that left-hand side, Dundee United, for the majority of that first half. They got a lot of joy down there between Fernandez and Magoma. Magoma's no great at defending. He's all right going forward at times, but he's no great defending. Fernandez doesn't cover himself in glory. Too slow as well in terms of getting back. The boys in front of him. But I've seen these goals too many times, Carney, that we concede. The goals we concede are shocking. But you're sitting there going, you're not surprised by it because it's happening week in, week out now. These teams just targeting balls over the top of us. But for the backline's just not good enough. When you've got Giga and Fernandez has been all right recently. But is he good enough? No. I think he's weak as well. So, no, again, wasn't he shocked, but if you're playing 2 centre-halves and Giga and Fernandez, and we're not even talking about the full-backs as well here, which were pushed right, but those 2 in particular, weak centre-halves for me, no good enough.
Yeah, it was a theme in the game of poor defending that lasted the entire match. It really was. It was horrific pretty much for the full duration of the game, just how bad the defending was from all of them, literally from all of them. Quickly just after that, they nearly had a chance again from a header because we just didn't settle after they had scored. Miovski then misses an absolute sitter, mate. Like, for me, he has to score here. Yes, the keeper saves it, but you are 3 yards out from the goal. You have to put that ball away, mate. And again, that summed up for me again why, as you say, I always say, just put their names in a hat. It doesn't matter who plays. None of them know where the goal is.
Yeah, all 3 of them. If you look at all 3 of them tonight, all 3 of them had
chances to score goals.
Setters. Well, yeah, Chermiti, which we'll come to, and Miovski had setters. Danilo had one in the second half. For me, he was sleeping. He wasn't alive. He wasn't on his toes.
I know. He didn't even get my head. He's just standing still. Like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, I know. He was unlucky with one against the bar, but they're just not good enough. And that one in particular from Miovski, he's got to score. But again, it sums up where they are at the moment. These guys, they just don't look like they have any confidence in front of goal, any of them. For me, he had to score that one, Miovski, but not shocked at all. And Davey, a member for 32 months. Christ, lucky for you, Davey.
32 months, Davey. Thank you so much, mate. That's amazing support. I really do appreciate that. 32 months, wow. But aye, it's just one of those ones I was like, he's got to score that. Look, Magoma gets his back into it, mate. It's a screamer. Honestly, that's a great finish. You can't take anything away for the lad here. It kind of breaks to him at the edge of the box, mate. Takes one touch to settle himself and absolutely thunders one into the bottom corner. And I honestly thought after that, I'm going to be honest here, I thought we looked like the better team. I thought we were playing the better football. I thought we were, again, a lot more attacking intent. But the frustration thing about all of it was just the wrong decisions we were making at the most crucial times. And this is something we're consistently seeing, and why we create so little chances. We don't make the right decisions when we have the chance to punish the teams. And Danilo's mentioned that in previous press conferences that we're not making the right decisions. But I thought at one each, when we got back to one each, I thought we looked like the most dominant team for pretty much the rest of the half. But a great goal by Magoma. And John, 37 months, John. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. Thank you, John.
Yeah, there was a fantastic goal by Magoma. Again, shooting from outside the box, something we don't do as a football team. Didn't think Magoma had that in his locker, but I think that was his first goal or something they said. But aye, fantastic strike. And I was the same as you at that point. We started to get a hold of the game. We were moving the ball a bit quicker. The movement was better. And I was the same as you at that point. I thought, well, we're on top. And Dundee United, let's be honest about it, Dundee United aren't a great team. They're not a good team. There was big gaps and holes in their back line as well for us to exploit, which we did at points. But as you said, the final ball just wasn't there for us. But yeah, at that point, I thought we could go and win this game.
It was a bit back and forth, don't get me wrong, a bit basketball game at times with how easy it was just for each team to go back and forth. And I do think that's a bit of a maybe Danny rule instruction in terms of previous games. Not to kind of go all hell for leather because of how defensively poor we are, because you could see we were stretched. They were stretched as well at the same times, and there was points where points where I thought we could get punished, but I also thought we looked like the most likely of scoring, if that makes sense. And I was just happy for Rangers to continue to kind of keep going for it. But we got to the half, mate, a bit of a manic half of football. It's one each into the second half. Again, open end-to-end stuff. It really was to start with. We had the best chance, as you say, as you mentioned, with Danilo early on, with Danilo's overhead kick hitting the bar. We then have a number of chances, mate, that we have to score. Like we generally have to score. The Danilo chance, especially for me, he has to score there. With the ball that comes back to him, he just has to put it away. He doesn't. We then again show how not to defend in a game of football. It's a kind of second ball from a corner, I think it was from Dundee United. It's Barami tries to win it, doesn't get it. Raskin's kind of half block, doesn't make a tackle. Giga stands and literally goes, I wonder what day of the week it is, as the guy just literally walks right past him and buries it into the bottom corner, mate, to make it 2-1. And at that point, I was less than impressed.
Yeah, I was the same, to be honest. Because I actually thought we started the second half the better team. I know it was a bit of a basketball match at times. It was like watching two crap teams, let's be honest, about it, having a go at each other. But I thought we were a better team at the start of the second half. But just that final ball, we're just not clinical enough in front of goal. And it's been a theme all season. And you always know in the back of your head, there's that moment that we'll have a clusterfuck at the back. And we did. We just couldn't deal with a ball clearing it at all. Comes to that boy, cuts inside, and it's a good finish into the back of the net. But it shouldn't have came to that, and we didn't deal with it. And at that point, I thought 2-1 down, 25 minutes to go. I honestly thought we would probably crumble at that point and not come back.
Yeah, Dundee United had another few chances as well. They went close. I think it was from a header. It went just by the post. It was, again, just a defensive horror show from everybody at the back today, Tavernier included. I thought Tav was awful. I thought his passing was absolutely atrocious today. James Tavernier, I thought he was well and truly off it. And yeah, we see the rear sighting of James Tavernier getting subbed, mate. Max Aaron's coming on, finally taking Danilo off and putting Shermity on. as well as Diomande coming on for Nico Raskin. Again, another one. I thought Raskin grew into it a little bit more in the second half. I didn't think he was in it in the first half. But in the second half, I thought he grew into it a little bit more. And yeah, it was kind of end-to-end stuff. But the sitter of the game, mate, has to go to our man, Shermity. This is again, mate, and it's not his fault somebody paid £8 million for him, but it's his fault that he's an £8 million striker. this header is... It's a striker's bread and butter, mate. You have to score that. It's a good ball in. He's on his own. He's free. He's got all the chance in the world to pick his spot with his header, and he puts it wide. It just sums everything up about our front line. It really does, mate. And I am at the point where I don't even care how much he cost anymore. This guy is not good enough. He's just clearly not good enough. He's nowhere near the caliber of player that we need, and we have to be looking to add to our front line, yes, and replace him. And by replace him, I mean knock him down the pecking order because he shouldn't be playing for us.
No, this is the one that really got me angry.
Yeah.
Luckily, my fiancée wasn't in the room with me at the time, but she probably did hear me shout and swear.
My missus was painting the roof in the living room like she likes to do every couple of weeks. She likes to change the colour of the living room, and the way she was standing, and a few times I shouted tonight, nearly made her fall, which probably wasn't the right thing to be doing. But I did say to her, "Well, you don't fuck for painting the living room when Rangers are playing. You knew that I was going to be shouting at the telly tonight."
Yeah, but this one. I mean, the goalkeeper's rooted to the spot. It's a sitter. He's got to score. He's got to hit the target at least. He doesn't even hit the target. Never even looked convincing about it. This guy that we've spent £8 million for, and again, it's not the boys' fault that we've spent £8 million on him, or Thelwell has, but he's dreadful. He's absolutely dreadful. And we laughed about it a couple of weeks ago of the tweets of people saying that he looked like one of these guys Livingston take a punt on every year. And I think you mentioned somebody had said he looks like a player that plays in a YouTuber and Soccer Aid or whatever it is.
Yeah, that was a good one. I did like that.
Yeah, that's what he looked like tonight. I mean, the guy is absolutely dreadful. And in front of goal, once again, our strikers just powder puff to the max. He's got to score it. And I don't know where you go from it. I listened to you in Scotia last night, and you picked your teams. And Scotia picked a team without one of the three strikers because he said none of them can score a goal. And I think he went with something like
Put Curtis through the middle, I think.
Did he do that? Or Gassama through the middle and a Curtis either side with Barami, I think he said. And to be honest, I'm looking at it now going, we might as well try something like that because the three strikers at the moment aren't scoring at all. Don't look like scoring. Chamiti, that'll be the big talking point. And again, he'll be bashed over the head again, Chamiti, because he's missed umpteen setters. The one goal he scored for us was a lucky shot from outside the box that hit a wicked deflection and went in the back of the net. The guy's never looked like scoring. Doesn't look like scoring. And tonight, I think that draws a line through him completely for me, Karen. He's a guy we need to just take a hit on and get rid of, along with the other two strikers probably, because simply not good enough.
Yeah, a lot happened in the game, Alan, but yes, I do remember Jiga's.
No, that was at the start.
God almighty, man. Yeah, that was an absolute belter. That was a roarer, but look, as I say, I thought it got to the point, especially after that, I thought we'll never scoring again here. Wasn't going to happen for us. Again, wrong decisions at wrong times from some players. I think Diomande even came on as well. And then he brought Asgard on. Let's pause for dramatic effect because I just can't understand why you would bring Asgard on when we're chasing a game. But we get a penalty, mate, right in the last minute pretty much. When who's kicked? Barami kicked?
Aaron's.
Oh, it was Aaron's. It was kicked. Yeah, it was Aaron's. It was kicked. Michael Stewart obviously wet the bed, mate, as well as trying to dramatically claim that the SFA needed a complete overhaul when the handball for Fernandes, which I think probably in the whole natural body position thing. I don't think it's really a can out and out handball. Might be blue tinted glasses there, but what I will say is I'm not sure how much contact there was with Aarons. It did look like there was a bit of contact for me. Obviously, Michael Stewart wet the bed that much that he couldn't see that there might have been slight contact there. I didn't care. I thought, well, I'm going to take it. Didn't have any confidence that we were going to score it, mind you, but I thought, right, let's see. I was actually prepping the live stream, mate, and I had 2-1, and I thought, I'm not changing this. I was like, I'm not going to change this just yet until I see what happens. But fair play to Barami, mate. By far the best player for us on the park tonight. Steps up and absolutely buries it, mate. It's a cracking penalty, and we save a point, mate. We save a point, but ultimately we've still dropped 2.
Yeah, Michael Stewart. He's probably one of the most biased commentators I've ever heard in my life. Michael Stewart. His hatred towards us is unbelievable. I mean, he was going on and on and on about this penalty. Looking at it, I'll be honest about it. It's one of the ones. It's a kind of. I think he does catch him. It's a soft one for me, but I've seen them given, if you know what I mean. So I'll take it. And Barami steps up. Fantastic finish by Barami. Again, as I said at the start, our best player over the last 2 games. This guy. A guy that, like I say, I think will be away in the summer, maybe away in January potentially. But he showed the right attitude for me, Barami, in the last couple of games. He wants to get stuck in. His attitude's good. I think he adds something a bit different for us. He's a threat going forward too. Barami moves the ball quick. Everything the rest of them don't do. So he can hold his head up high tonight. But ultimately, yeah, we've saved a point, but it's not good enough. A draw's no use. It's still no use. Yeah. And the league table, and we talked about it after Falkirk, it's a bit of a fantasy, innit? We get back to 5 points and we all thought, right, there's a wee chance here, but deep down you knew this was going to come along the road, and it has.
Yeah.
So it's the league. The league's completely gone now. I mean, it's completely gone. That point doesn't change it for me at all. We're 9 points behind Celtic, 9 points behind Hearts. I think we've got a game in Hearts, but Rangers aren't. It's poor as Celtic are. They win games. 9 out of 10, they'll win their games. We won't. So they will win the league by a canter. They'll start the motor away. We will drop again, unfortunately. But it's the state of the squad. The squad's simply not good enough. And tonight, a draw. I'm not happy with a draw at all. I know we got a draw, but for me, not good enough.
No.
Rangers should have won that game tonight. As poor as we are, they should have won it. But at the end of the day, if you defend the way we defend and you can't take the chances we had tonight, you don't deserve to win football games. So it's on the players tonight again. And I think it's going to be a theme from now till January, till, as I say, you bring players in that are plasters over it until we get to the summer. So, as I said after the Falkirk game, Carney, and I hate saying it, I think it will get worse.
Yeah,
Sorry for being negative.
No, mate, I think you're spot on. I'm in full agreement that that's the league completely in the bin now. And what you're right, it was the kind of false outside hope, outside chance that we might get back into something. The fact that Danilo had won 4 back to back, but that's 2 draws in a row. Lucky to get a draw on Sunday. Probably lucky to get a draw tonight as well. And ultimately, we're just seeing the flaws of this entire squad. The absolute bin fire that this squad are. You're seeing all of it, and it's fully on display now. We're in a right mess. We really are, and yeah, it's all just about recovery now. It can't come quick enough, January, and I don't think January's going to fix it. But I'm hoping that it makes it at least 20-30% better than what we're seeing, because it's brutal. It is absolutely brutal to watch. And with the chances you created tonight, Ali, you're probably right. We probably do deserve to win that game, or did deserve to win that. Well, no, not did deserve it. We should have won that game. But ultimately, we're not good enough. We're just not good enough. We don't have the quality to win games of football. And Dundee United may be saying the same thing. They're maybe saying, yeah, we should have won that game with the chances that they had, which is probably a fair argument. But no, just a very disappointing performance, a very disappointing result, and again we're limping. There's a lot of people already said in the chat, mate. I've seen it. The chat's going so quick, I can't actually keep up with it tonight. But I do appreciate everybody getting involved with each other. But for me, Danilo still gets the benefit of the doubt here in terms of the players that he has to pick from and what he's trying to get going. However, I can't understand some of the subs that he makes, and I can't understand the persisting with things that he's doing. The Danilo thing, enough now, literally enough. We don't need to see it anymore. It's not going to work, so try something else, because it's definitely not going to work. The guy is hopeless, genuinely hopeless, and another one that I would be doing my best to try and even recoup half the money that we spent on him and get rid of him in January and bring somebody else in. Shamiti as well, he's probably going to end up on loan. That's how bad he is. Majovski was much more involved tonight, I thought, and I thought he tried a lot more and looked like he would better moments of quality than we've seen previously, but again, still no goals from him. And this Asgard thing, what has Cameron done? And I'm not saying Cameron is the guy that's going to secure our fortunes and he's going to change everything, but he's twice the player that Asgard is while sitting on the bench, and that's my opinion. Ali, with Danilo, I don't think it's time to really question, because the defensive errors tonight are not him. You can't put that on the manager. You just can't put that on him. There's nobody else to pick from in the defence right now. But I think the only bit that I will have criticism for is some of the selections he's making in terms of the substitutions and persevering with a tested method with the whole Danilo thing. You have to give him the benefit of the doubt now, surely. I think changing a manager now would just be ridiculous. Really would be. Still going to achieve anything.
Yeah, no, it's difficult for Danny Rule because the tools he's got to work with are simply not good enough. Yes, substitutions at times recently look a bit similar to Russell Martin, a wee bit desperate at times, kind of like flinging paint at a wall and seeing if something will stick at times. Certain players that we think may be better, you talk about Lyle Cameron. I mean, we don't see him in training at all, but he just doesn't fancy him at all for some reason. I don't know what it is, but surely he can offer something better than an Asgard that you talk about. But yeah, it's a difficult one for Danny Rule. And he said in his presser before this game, they asked about January and stuff, and he talked about it, and he said, we need guys with basically the mentality to play for Rangers. He knows these guys, the majority of them, simply aren't good enough. But at the same time, he's realistic in knowing that we can't just bin 10 players in January. It doesn't work like that. We can't do it. Even in the summer, a lot of these guys on 3-4 year contracts, and they hold the ace card. So we'll need to take hits on them, and it'll be difficult to move some of these guys. The loan players, yeah, we can send them back to their parent club. Hopefully some of them we could cut it in January and send them back. But yeah, I'm not going to put it on Danny Rule at the moment. The guy's only been in a few months, but he's seen the reality now of what he's got to work with. I think the last few games, he's really seen what he's got to work with, and how bad a set of, or a group of players he's got. Probably the worst group of players I've seen since we've came back up to the top flight. Well, it is. I know you said that on your pod the other night about the players Ryan sent into the chat in terms of those players to the players we had. And I used to slag Jamie Murphy way back in the day, but I would take a Jamie Murphy right now over.
You hated Jamie Murphy, though. You hated Jamie Murphy.
He wasn't good enough. And but yeah, you look at some of the players and probably a better team, and that was a poor team, but it's probably a better team than what's on the park now. And the galling thing about it is, we spent £30 million on that. £30 million on that. And that's what you've got. And the owners have got to
including an £8 million striker that can't score a header for 6 yards.
Yeah. And the owners have got to take major responsibility for this as well. I know they've fired Thelwell, Patrick Stewart, the manager as well, but they've got to take major responsibility. £30 million in that squad. Shocking. To have that on the park. So it's down to them to fix it, and it starts in January. January's a dodgy month, but it starts in January. They'll go get it right, because they've set us back along with Elwell, I don't know how many transfer windows now can to fix this. It's going to be a long road to fix this for me, and I know you've said it too. But as I said, it's going to get worse this season. It is. We're going to have a lot of pain this season. But I just hope in January we can maybe bring something in that can try and kickstart us again into next season. And it's sad saying that the 3rd of December.
Yeah, but the
another
rebuild
season
starts.
done.
Yeah, the rebuild starts in January. The rebuild of the rebuild of the rebuild of the rebuild of the rebuild, mate, starts in January. And we've said it far too often, but unfortunately it's the case. That's exactly where we're at. Just a shocking state of affairs, it really is. We will finish with two positives. The first one is from Rangers on tour. The draw tonight, the only positive is we second Goodwin and Stewart. Always nice to do, not going to lie, always nice to do that. We absolutely second them, and I hope they are continuously wetting the bed as they were during the game regarding the result. So I'll take that as a positive for sure. And the other positive is, of course, our live show, Ali. We're turning 5 years old. In fact, is it 5 today, or is it the 5th, I think, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember when it was. It's either the 3rd or the 5th. Yeah, about now we are 5 years old, so we're celebrating that with a live show in the Viceroy on the Friday the 16th of January. Please get your tickets quick because they are selling very fast, and there is a limited number of tickets available due to the size of the venue. So you can scan the QR code on the screen, or you can click the link in the description for this podcast, and we hope to see you all there. And we promise we'll be more entertaining than watching Shermitty trying to score from 6 yards. Ali, thank you very much for joining me tonight, mate. Enjoy your holiday.
What I said off the Rangers, eh? How to start your holiday? Rangers the night before, God. As I said,
imagine going to bed raging and you're going on holiday tomorrow. Honestly, Rangers, what have you done to them? I know.
To be fair, I've calmed down now. To be honest, I didn't. As I said when I came on, I honestly didn't expect us to win. I knew we would drop between this game and Kilmarnock. And Kilmarnock got a point away at Hearts tonight as well. So God knows what will happen on Saturday when we play them. But it's no a shock to me. The bottom line is we're just simply not good enough, and that is why where we are in the league at the moment. We're 4th, I think, at the moment in the league, and we deserve to be there because we're simply not good enough. So yes, I will look forward to not watching Rangers over the next 2 weeks.
You're lucky man. You're lucky man. No, enjoy it, mate. Thank you for coming on tonight. Thank you, everybody in the chat tonight. I say there was a lot of chat going on, so it's hard to keep up with you all, but we very much appreciate for everybody tuning in. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, especially if this is your first time here and you like listening to us to have a moan about things. There's plenty more where that came from, don't you worry about that. But yeah, just another disappointing night, and the flaws of this squad rear their ugly head for the numerous time this season. There is a lot of work to be done, and we are now in a position where we are limping in the worst possible terms. We are limping towards January in the hope that something will change and we'll manage to get something in to turn our fortunes even slightly and make it even slightly enjoyable tuning in to watch Rangers. But yeah, it is unfortunately the situation that we are in. As I say, like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back on Friday night with Club Live as we preview the game against Kilmarnock on Friday. Very much looking forward to that. We are Club at 22, the Rangers podcast. Good night, everybody. Cheers.